Hello, Mega Thirstinator here, and I'm back with another LEGO Games review. This is Race 3000, and what you have to do is you pick a race car, and the first race car to complete one lap of the track counterclockwise wins the game. So let's get down to what we have here. We have a podium with a trophy on it, a LEGO dice with some turbo tiles, but the thing about the LEGO dice is the reason why it's all bare is because that's how it starts off. Tile, it's built as it goes along. And here, these are all the movement squares. And we have a pit lane back there. Orange bricks, shortcuts, oil slicks, which are those black things popping up, the race cars, the start and finish line, and these studs here are the stamp represent the move spaces. So that explains all of it, so let's just get down to the dice rules. Okay, for sides without movement squares, you place one of your movement squares onto the side of the LEGO dice you rolled, and move your race car forward one space on the track. You can decide whether to move your race car or not. There. And for sides with movement squares, you place one of your movement squares onto the side of the LEGO dice you rolled if there's space remaining, and if you still have movement squares left. And all players with movement squares showing on the side of the LEGO dice rolled can move their race cars, starting with the player who rolled and continuing clockwise. Players move their race cars forward one space to the next available space for each movement square on the side of the LEGO dice rolled. Now, overtaking, which I just demonstrated. If your race car cannot move forward to the next space because another race car already occupies the space, your race car overtakes the other race car and moves to the next available space, according to the image to the right. Like that. Alright. The tripod here is getting kind of twisty right now, so I'll have to fix it. There we go. So, the turbo boost. You move your race car forward to the next orange brick on the track when you roll an orange turbo tile. If your race car cannot move forward to the next orange brick because another race car already occupies the space, your race car overtakes the other race car and moves to the next available space. If you're not already on a yellow shortcut brick, do not use them in your turbo movement. So that's how you do it. Okay. Oil slicks. Alright, I'll get over here, so if your race car hits an oil slick, then you must stop on that space, remove one of your movement squares from the LEGO dice, remove the oil slick from the track, and end your turn. You hit an oil slick when your race car reaches a move space with an oil slick on it, or the space immediately before it. Players cannot turbo boost over an oil slick. Alright, now for changing lanes. You change lanes using the orange brick, which only counts as one space. If another race car is blocking the space, you cannot change lanes. Like, here's how you do it. 1, 2, 3. And on the instruction booklet here, there's some examples of how movement squares function when the red player is rolled and is at a red movement square to the LEGO dice. Red player moves one space, red player moves 2 spaces, red player moves 2 spaces, then the blue and green players move 1 space each. The red player uses the turbo boost to the next orange brick, then blue and green players move 1 space each. Now, for winning the game, the first race car to complete 1 full lap around the track and cross the finish line wins the game. Place the winning race car on top of the podium and collect the trophy, while the other players continue racing for 2nd and 3rd place. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna get this thing back up here, and we'll get down to the rule changes. Okay. Leave me alone. Now, we have a yellow tile here. You can make and this is make a shortcut. You make and take shortcuts to get you ahead in the race. Starting setup, you add a yellow shortcut tile to the Lego dice and keep the 2 orange turbo tiles. You move 1 or 2 of the yellow shortcut bricks anywhere on the inside of the racetrack to build a new shortcut. Shortcuts must be connected to an orange brick on at least one side. Yellow shortcut bricks with race cars positioned on them cannot be moved. And when I play this game, I don't normally use the shortcuts because I keep thinking they're part of the changes. So when you roll this, you get to use the shortcut. Like that. So now I better check to see if it's positioned correct. No, it's not. There we go. Now, for build different racetracks, I'm not going to do this because it'll take too long. You build any shape racetrack you can imagine. You can see the back of the building instructions for inspiration and see what you can build yourself. Number 3 here, the pit lane. Okay, this here is the pit lane. You use the pit lane, try these 2 different variations. You can replace, what you can do here, you can replace 1 movement square on the Lego dice with 1 of your own when you first move into the pit lane. You must have at least 1 movement square remaining to use. Or okay, hang on a minute. Or what you can do is, you remove all movement squares from 2 sides of the Lego dice, and then place 1 of your movement squares on one of those sides. Like that. So anyways, that's my review for Race 3000. Mega Thirstinator signing off.